Sama through your gateway to possibilities. Zambia Airports Corporation Limited. Keep flying.
The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, to you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
And now, with the main news bulletin, this is Grace Msimuko.
Good afternoon. This is 5FM Main News. The headlines. Government reaches agreement on debt restructuring terms with its Eurobond holders. CSOs lament over the shrinking civic space in the country. Death toll in DR Congo boat accident reaches 54. Is also streaming live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia. The details. The steering committee of the Ad Hoc Creditor Committee has reached agreements in principle on the key commercial terms of a proposed restructuring transaction relating to the government's bonds due 2022, 2024, and 2027. Finance Minister Msimuko Msokotwane says the agreement with the steering committee brings the country closer to the completion of Zambia's debt restructuring, which will release significant resources for developmental agendas. Dr. Msokotwane said the agreement to restructure the Eurobonds provides essential debt relief, including permanently waiving around $700 million in claims and offering approximately $2.5 billion in cash flow relief through reduced debt servicing payments during the IMF program period. He said Zambia believes this agreement adheres to the comparable treatment principle and extends the foundation laid by the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, agreed with its official creditors. He says it paves way for similar restructuring agreements with other private creditors. This is contained in a statement posted on the Ministry of Finance website, obtained by 5FM News. A consortium of civil society organizations has lamented over the shrinking civic space in the country. The consortium is worried with the failure by public authorities to protect the rights to freedom of expression and freedom of assembly, which are the bedrock of the country's democracy. The consortium comprises Chapter 1 Foundation, Transparency International Zambia, Christian Churches Monitoring Group, Zambia, and Zambia Council for Social Development. The consortium has cited the case involving the Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA caution, to Hot FM radio station over their interview with Shishua and the Zambia Police Service forcing their way into the home of Patriots for Economic Progress, PEP leader Sean Tembo, in a bid to arrest him, among others, as some of the trains contributing to shrinking civic space. Speaking during a joint media briefing, Chapter 1 Foundation Executive Director Linda Kasonde has called on the government and public officers to urgently address this embarrassing dent on Zambia's democratic image. Ms. Kasonde said if left unchecked, the trend threatens to reverse the gains the country has made so far.
These incidents show a growing intolerance for dissent and have the potential to plunge the country into the abyss of demagoguery and political repression by the government. Preventing citizens, including those with dissenting voices, from discussing issues of national importance is the very opposite of democracy.
In a related development, opposition Socialist Party leader Fred Membe has appealed to the Zambia Police Service to grant bonds to Patriots Progress leader Sean Tembo, who has been arrested and charged for hate speech. Mr. Tembo is accused of posting inflammatory remarks on his Facebook page. Speaking when he visited Mr. Tembo at Chilenje Police Station this morning, Dr. Membe regrets that the law enforcers are allegedly being brutal on the opposition leader. He has expressed concern that the freedom of expression, speech, association, and now association are all gone in the country. Meanwhile, UPND National Youth Chairperson Gilbert Liswaniso has insisted and affirmed UPND administration's adherence to the rule of law in its governance system. Speaking when he featured on the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue program, Mr. Liswaniso has challenged the police officers to always deliver a clear message on their actions so that citizens appreciate the importance of rule in the country. Mr. Liswaniso says the police service should not create a perception that the rule of law is a bad principle, especially that in the past it was violated. He says, unlike in the past, the UPND administration has allowed the institutions of governance to work independently.
In opposition, we promised the people of Zambia that there will be rule of law in this country. I want you to understand this, that the rule of law will apply to each and everybody, to a politician and also non-politicians. Now, the bad thing of politics or the other area, I can tell you one thing. We politicians, we get excited when we're being arrested. I'll be in this radio station to tell you the truth. I have no time to come on radio station, then I'm to chow. No, I have no time for that, because I know that we are here to save the nation. From what we've said, 59 of independence, what have we done in this nation? We have been concentrating too much on certain things that are not good.
And Mr. Liswaniso says President Hakainde Hichilema is aware of the challenges the citizens are facing and is addressing them in a systematic manner.
I'm the one who have been telling you, the people of Zambia, that economic freedom, that we are able to move our life. We are able to do business freely. We are able to do whatever we want to do. Today, even just selling a bag of milling in other countries is still a crime. It's because the economy is bad. But these are the things which Hakainde want to end. But it's a process. It does not only wake up and do it, no. It's a process. That process needs leadership to sit down and look in all the areas.
One suspected criminal aged between 35 and 40 has died after he was beaten by a mob in Lusaka's Kabwata area. The deceased, who is yet to be identified, was together with his colleague when they allegedly attacked a 28-year-old man, only identified as Luke, in the early hours of yesterday in Kabwata. Deputy Police Public Relations Officer Danny Male has disclosed that the two suspects, who were armed with iron bars, attacked the victim as he was dropping off his friend and demanded for money. Mr. Male says as the victim was transacting, one of them grabbed a cellular phone and ran away, and it is at this point that the victim gave chase and shouted for help. Mr. Male explained that members of the community responded and managed to apprehend the suspect, who was beaten and sustained fatal head injuries, as well as a broken right leg.
He was beaten and sustained fatal head injuries as well as a broken right leg. Police officers who visited the scene found the suspect unconscious and was immediately rushed to the University Teaching Hospital for treatment. Police were later informed that the suspect died around 05 hours. The body is in the hospital mortuary awaiting identification and postmortem.
The Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, working with the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development, has successfully automated and developed a gemstone production, reporting and export permit module, which provides for online reporting of minerals. The module also provides for online processing of export permits for the gemstone industry in Zambia. Commenting on the development, Ministry of Mines Permanent Secretary Hampenga Kabeta says the automation of gemstones module, which has been done for the first time in the history of Zambia, is part of government's resolve to ensure that there is transparency and accountability in the mineral value chain. He has further stated that the automation will improve efficiency in service delivery and reduce the cost of compliance by stakeholders in the gemstone sector. And ZRA Commissioner General Dingani Banda has revealed that a combined team of technical staff from the Ministry of Mines and the ZRA spearheaded the development of the gemstone production reporting and export permit module. In other news trending this afternoon, the Center for Peace, Research and Advocacy has cautioned the UPND administration against supporting laws which were used against them during their time in opposition. Mining expert Edward Simukonda has expressed concern over the Zambia National Service's disclosure that it will set up a $15 billion copper smelting plant in Kabompo district of Northwestern Province. Up next, business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In business, Zambia's annual inflation for October 2023 has increased to 12.6% from 12% recorded in September 2023. Zambia Statistics Agency Statistician General Mulenga Musepa has attributed the development to price movements of selected food and non-food items. Mr. Musepa says of the overall 12.6% annual inflation, Lusaka province contributed the highest at 4.2 percentage points, followed by Copperbelt and Central provinces. Meanwhile, Mr. Musepa has disclosed that the country recorded a trade deficit of 0.5 billion kwacha in September 2023, compared to a surplus of 2.3 billion kwacha in August 2023. He said traditional exports earnings decreased by 7.7% to 10.9 billion kwacha in September 2023 from 11.8 billion kwacha in August 2023.
Look at 2022 year-to-date inflation in October. This time last year, we actually had deflation, basically negative inflation, which was at minus basically 1.6%, compared to now where we've got 19.3% year-to-date inflation. And this is also really putting pressure on the overall outlook of inflation.
In foreign news, authorities in Equatorial Province of the Democratic Republic of Congo have recovered 10 more bodies from a boat accident that happened on Sunday, raising the death toll to 54. The BBC reports that the Health and Humanitarian Affairs Minister for the province, Lak Didier Mbula, also said that 267 people were rescued. Authorities believe that about 50 people are still missing, although they could not retrieve the passenger manifest as the boat's owner also drowned. In sports news, Chipolopolo winger Edward Chilufya will be looking to open his UEFA Europa League account when BK Häcken take in Molde FK. The Zambian international will be hoping to carry his league form into the European competition this evening away in Norway. Zamfoot Crew reports that Chilufya has scored 4 goals for Häcken in 5 league games, but has yet to score in the Europa League, despite playing in the 2 previous matches. Häcken and Molde are both winless in the second highest ranked European club competition so far. And now the weather.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Western, northwestern, Copperbelt, Wapula, northern, Muchinga, eastern and central provinces are partly cloudy, windy at times, and hot to very hot with isolated showers over Mwinilunga, Nchelenge, Mbala, Nakonde districts and the surrounding areas. Lusaka and southern provinces have few clouds, windy at times, and hot to very hot. That item brings us to the end of the news. Before we go, a recap of the top stories. Government reaches agreement on debt restructuring terms with its Eurobond holders. CSOs lament over the shrinking civic space in the country. And the death toll in DR Congo boat accident reaches 54. For these and more stories, you can follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM Radio. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Grace Msimuko. Do stay blessed.